Hi, everybody. It's Kelly with Real Conversations with Kelly and Heather. And welcome to Designing Your Life, Finding the Different Yous Inside. Oh, goodness. A space where we stop waiting for life to happen and start stepping into it. We're going to discuss what I'm holding on to that is preventing me from having more. So let's get into it. Let's talk about designing your life, not fixing it, not managing it, really designing it. Because the truth is, there's a version of you inside that has been waiting, and you know it, waiting to be expressed and waiting to be lived. And there's so many of them inside of you. So let's just be honest, you can feel her. Felt
I think we all are at a space, well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of us are at a space where they just are feeling there's got to be more out there for us. There's got to be more to our life. There's got to be something different we can do. And really, that's what we're talking about today, is in your lifetime, there can be many different yous. You don't have to stay in the same place. You don't have to stay as the same person. You don't have to stay doing the same thing. There's many different opportunities that you can step into. And that's what we wanted to discuss. And is the freedom of that? I mean, let's face it, we're talking about always changing your identity, reinventing yourself. And this really is what it boils down to as well, is looking at all the different yous that are inside of you. And that one especially that's like burning a hole in your heart. You're feeling her. And you got to let her out. You got to let her out.
exactly. So, what version of you has been secretly wishing that you could do and you haven't started it yet? Like, what is it that you want to do? Because many of us stay in our current life, not because it's wrong, because it's familiar and we know exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, it is. That's the biggest point, is it just feels familiar. And for whatever reason, we get to the point where we're just holding on to it so tightly. And if you really think about it, it's getting old. It's getting old
Yes.
because there's more. Although I was just thinking about this. So my parent generation, and maybe they went through this too, and they just didn't know any better, or they just never had the opportunities. But my mom was a dental hygienist for 30 years. And she to this day will say, I love what I did. I loved it. Now, she worked for various different bosses and offices, and we moved around a lot. So maybe that's what kept it fresh. And I just thought, wow, that is 30 years of doing the same thing day in and day out. Is it really possible? Or did it really get old for her too? She just didn't have the words to put it. So that's what it's about. Are we holding on to something so tightly because it's familiar, even though we're starting to feel like it's getting old?
Right. Because we've actually built it, we know it, we manage it,
Mhm.
we just keep going and going every day.
Yeah.
But designing your life requires something different.
Right. If you want something different, if you're feeling that pull and you want to do something different, it requires doing something different and being uncomfortable again. Be-
Exactly.
Being like a child, learning to ride a bike again for the first time. And for some people, they don't like that.
Yeah. And it really requires us to step into the doing and the learning and the growing
You're
space.
growing forward. I love that concept of leaning into growing forward.
Yes. And sometimes it's vulnerability.
Yeah.
The majority of the time, it's vulnerability.
Right. Right.
Because I felt like I have been there in the past 3 or 4 months. And it's the doing and the learning when I was like just thinking, oh my gosh, what have I been doing and what have I been learning? And and just taking that deep breath and just settling into it because I know that I'm growing. And what do I always say to you? You said, "Hey, how was your weekend?" And I go, "Oh, it was a growing weekend."
Yeah. You have been saying that a lot. Yep.
And, this is where, really have been in a good space. And, I've been learning from all my experiences,
Mhm.
which keep me moving forward.
Right.
It doesn't keep me in the familiar. And when I don't know what I don't know, then I know that I'm growing.
Right.
Woo. And I
Even
said,
though it doesn't feel good, let's face it, we have had to learn how to edit. We've had to learn how to set up microphones. We've had to learn how to set up computer screens and so many things that it requires to step into something else, a new version of yourself, of ourselves. And this
mhm.
is really truly what it's all about. And the vulnerability of asking for the help to know that I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me? And being
Right.
okay with that, right? Giving yourself the grace to know you're not going to know. You're not going to have it figured out.
And some of us, maybe you want to stay in the familiar. Maybe you don't want to move. Maybe you're just like, okay, I'm in a great space. I'm really feeling good and I don't want to move. That's your decision.
Hmm. Hmm.
And when you decide, that's the best part about it.
Right. It's interesting that you say that because there are some people that want to stay where they are. And the best thing to do is that you then can find better meaning or more meaning within the constraints of that reality, right?
Mhm.
Making the most of where you're at and what you're doing, finding the meaning within that, and staying is perfectly acceptable, perfectly fine, because that is a choice, right? That is a decision. That's where you're at. You want to stay. Great. But there are others of us who are going, we're in the
Yeah,
what ifs. What if? What if I did something else?
yeah. And if I had literally waited, if I had said, oh, I'm going to wait till I feel ready to move forward, well, I would have been. I don't know whether you can hear that, but I'm tapping my nails. I'm like,
Hmm.
no, I am not going to wait. But I definitely moved because I was fed up with where
Yeah.
I was. And I wanted to see another version of me. And that's where I am right now. And I really, it is taking me to so many different levels of me
Hmm.
and bringing out different parts of me that I'm like, I didn't know that was there.
Hmm.
And it's exciting, it's different. And I'm excited to find out what else is inside of me because I've had different versions of myself. I could probably name, ugh, well, let's start in my 20s. A lot of different versions of myself when I was in my teens.
Oh, of
Um,
course. As
so,
we should.
I think you have a different version of yourself in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your
Absolutely. Absolutely.
60s, so right there, there's five.
Hmm.
There's
Hmm.
five different me's that were in there. And I keep going back to different things like where I lived and the feeling and all of that. And now I get to experience a different me at this moment. And I'm like, oh, yes, what is this going to look like?
Yeah, there's a quote out there by a couple of Stanford professors who talk about that that this lifetime is way bigger than the one thing that we're doing. In other words, we can live so many different versions of ourselves within the same lifetime and probably never achieve all of them. That is cool.
Love that. And
Hmm.
I'm ready to take the challenge. It's like, okay, how
Yes.
many? And so when I do one-on-one coaching, somebody comes to me and they go, I really don't know my purpose in life.
Mhm.
And, I feel like I need to change, but I'm not really sure what I want to do. I have them list 10 to 20 things that they want to do, that they've been talking about doing. It can be something as small as buying a journal.
Right. Or do a pottery class or paint
Yes,
a photo or
yes,
read 5 books by the end of the year.
exactly. And if you can only come up with 4 or 5, that's okay. But it will start you really feeling inside to take that move, to make sure that you are moving to the new version of yourself. Because if you start taking pottery, you're going to meet different people. You start playing pickleball, you're going to meet different people playing pickleball.
Right.
And, you know, like somebody said, okay, I want to write a book. All right. So if you write a book, then you have to do research. You don't just have to sit in a room all by yourself in the corner and start writing. You've got to do the research. So it's
It's
getting out and talking to people.
Yeah, it's so funny you mentioned that because I just had that conversation with my son last night, who is an author, waiting for his big debut to be with one of his many novels he writes. But I asked him exactly that. So when you write, do you sit down and do research? And he's like, absolutely. Most of his novels are fantasy novels,
Mhm.
sci-fi or I don't know, young adult fantasy. I don't know what they call it, genre, adult fantasy. Says a lot of it I don't have to because it's in my own imagination, these cities, these people, these languages. He says, but if I have a place in mind, like, hey, we're gonna go meet up, an example, meet up in Japan. I'm looking for a space in Japan that exists that only the locals would know. So he can weave that into his book so that when somebody who knows that region can go, oh, I know that place. I've been there. It really exists. It just creates credibility. So that's really interesting that you mentioned that because I just had this conversation, but it opens him up to different worlds, different versions of his own self through his own writing.
Right.
And that's a great thing.
Well, okay. In what you just said, okay, I mentioned this not knowing
Hmm.
the flow. I feel like I'm in the flow because I mentioned something that you had talked to your son about last night that I didn't even know about.
Right.
So there's flow in my life. And also, your son is imagining.
Right.
He is in his imagination. That is where all these moments come from. Your versions of yourself, your
Mm.
versions of me are in your imagination. And if we just open that up and our life starts flowing, which I feel every day now, more and more, ah,
I think it's great. So really it's a mindset change. We talk about that a lot. It's changing your mindset to be open enough to actually live another life, one that is just as fulfilling as the other, as the one you're in now or the ones that you have. Because as you mentioned, you've had at least 5 already, and
mhm,
all of them were fulfilling in their own rights until you were ready for a change.
right.
And it requires a mindset, but being open to imagination. I think that's great. You gotta have your imagination open.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if your imagination is not open, then you are relying on other things in this
Mhm.
earth to change you.
Like other people. You're relying on other people to tell
People,
you
other
what to do.
things outside of you, not inside.
Ooh, there you go.
Hmm. So, I've got 3 questions that I want to ask. I want you to ask yourself. And I want you to take some time with it. I want you to either take a walk, find your favorite chair, just really go to where you can connect with yourself.
And I'm going to do this too, but you meaning our listeners.
Oh,
So the
yes.
yous that are out there that listen to us every week, thank you so much for liking and subscribing us. We appreciate it. But for
We,
yous that are out there, here's
we
some
do
three
because,
takeaways.
yes, yes. So, our takeaways: if nothing changes in 5 years, you're going to be doing the same thing. What kind of life are you living?
It's an honest look.
Does it feel good to you? Is this exactly what you want to be doing? I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is what you want to be doing.
No judgment.
Or are you just like really cringing at the thought of it?
You and I are kind of cringing a little
Oh,
bit, which is why
gosh.
we are where we're at. We're
Yeah,
stepping into our imagination.
I know I do not want to be in the same space. No, ma'am, not at all. Okay, so again, if nothing changes in 5 years and you're doing the same thing, what kind of life are you living? And number two, if that went away, what would you be doing? Mm.
There could be some world craziness that happens, like the thing that happened a few years ago that took away a lot of people's now and present moments, and they had to shift. So really, if it went away, if you didn't have the opportunity to do that same thing you're doing, what would you be doing? And the thing that you could be doing, here's the beauty of it, might not even be invented yet.
Exactly. So you could be the inventor.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that. Okay, and number three, if money is not an issue and no one would laugh at you, what would you be on your dance card? And by dance card, I mean, what is the wildest thing? Because you would dance with, I mean, like nobody is watching you.
That's right. What would make you dance in your kitchen, listening to your 80s music? Oh wait, that's me. What makes you dance?
Right. Right. I always say, okay, what do you have on your dance card?
Yeah.
When I'm coaching somebody, what's on your dance card? And they go,
Wait a minute.
sure. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to have so many things on your dance card.
Yeah.
Like, like, and even if they change every day, just remember 5 minutes ago, you are not the person that you were 5 minutes ago, which I love because my whole life I've been living what I was 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And it doesn't make a difference. 5 minutes ago, I'm not the same person.
Yeah. You do not have to continue to be the same person as
Oh,
5 minutes ago.
you can change it. I mean, 5 minutes ago, I said something different.
That's right.
So,
Right. That's right. Here's the important thing about that question is we put in there, if you knew nobody would laugh at you as well. There are so many times we don't share what we'd really love to do because we sit back in fear of judgment, fear of
yes,
what other people will say about it. And gosh, it's such a shame. It's such a shame because
it
most
stops
likely,
us.
right, and most likely if you actually said it, we'd be going, well, at least you and I would be, we'd be going, hallelujah, go do it. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Speak it. Speak it.
It out loud. And if you're afraid to speak it out loud, write it.
Fair
Write it
enough.
down. It has got to be out in the universe. God wants you to put it down on paper. God wants you to say it so that you can actually start going, wow, I think I'm going to dance because I guess this is my dance card.
This makes me excited.
Yes, yes. And just us coming on a podcast and putting together our website and all of that. I mean, we literally said we're doing this no matter what. No matter what, we are going to put into it what we need to so that we can give back to the women that need it.
That's right. And stay
And
tuned because we have lots more things on our dance card.
have so much going on, and we're so excited about it. And, not everybody, it's not for everybody, but it is for somebody.
Yeah,
And if we change one person's life, then I'm happy. But
absolutely.
I want to do more.
Want to do more. And really, these three questions are for everybody.
Right.
Whether you're wanting to take bigger leaps or not, totally
Mm-hmm.
fine. These
Yep.
questions are for everybody. Sit with yourself, get real with yourself.
Yep. And really reflect and give yourself permission to take that one bite of the apple. Because I will tell you, it will surprise you how sweet it is. So, with that, take these three questions and really reflect and see where you go.
Short and
Thank you
sweet.
so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Have a great week, and we will see you soon.